All right, good morning, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful miniature spring break. If you celebrated a holiday, I hope you had a wonderful time with your family. Today is Tuesday, April 14th, 2020, and let's start with our This Day in History. Now, both of our events today are two-part events, which means they start today and end tomorrow. And once you hear what they are over the next 2 days, it will make a little bit more sense. So let's get started with April 14th, 1865. John Wilkes Booth shoots President Lincoln, and that is at Ford's Theater, which is right here in Washington, D.C. If you've never been, I highly encourage you to go. I went for the first time a few years ago. It has a wonderful museum downstairs. Absolutely amazing. One of the best I've been to. And it is a fully functioning theater upstairs. It's a live theater, so not like a movie theater. I have two friends from high school who have actually performed at that theater several times in leading roles. So it's really cool for me to go and see it. And I could say, oh, I know someone who was in this production or that production. The box seat, like up above where Lincoln was sitting, is decked out in red, white, and blue. You don't get to sit there, but you can go in and see it and everything, and everybody takes pictures. And it's really cool, so I really encourage you to go check it out. Our other event happened in 1912, and that was the Titanic struck an iceberg. So, the RMS Titanic was built by White Star Lines, and it was considered one of the most luxurious ships in the world. It was considered the most luxurious cruise line in the world, and it was considered huge at the time in terms of size, but compared to cruise ships today, it's actually quite tiny. And it was considered the safest ship in the world as well. They had these bulkheads that went up, like these steel bulkhead things that went up, and they had like these doors that would drop in case they hit anything and took a leak or sprung a leak. But the only problem was that these steel things didn't go all the way up the ship. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow. So that's a little hint for what one of tomorrow's This Day in History will be. So the Titanic is sailing along, and there's no wind at night. This happens at night, and so you can't see any waves hitting the base of icebergs. And in the crow's nest, which is a really tall um, tower type thing where they would sit to kind of keep a lookout, they lost the binoculars, so they couldn't see very well. And they strike an iceberg, they hit an iceberg, and instead of hitting it dead on, they kind of ding the side of it, and it kind of scrapes along the side of the ship. And then it tears this huge hole in the side, and they start taking on water immediately. And we'll talk more about what happens tomorrow. So, what's happening this week? This week is a pretty laid back week in terms of what work you have to do. You're going to watch a brain pop, and then you're going to answer some questions on Google Forms. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to put the username and the password for Brain Pop in Google Classroom in the directions. So if you email me saying, Miss Sessock, how do I log into Brain Pop? I'm going to know that you are not reading directions, you're not watching my videos, you're not paying attention, and I am not going to help you. Let me repeat that. The username and the password for Brain Pop will be in the directions on Google Classroom. If you email me and ask me about it, I'm not going to help you because I'm telling you that's where it is right now. Now, this brain pop is going to be about the causes of the Civil War. So we're moving forward, we're starting Unit 4, and we're going to talk about what caused the Civil War in the United States. Now, a civil war is a war between two more groups within the same country, within the same kingdom, within the same tribe, within the same group of people that should be getting along. So you'll hear about civil wars in other parts of the world too. This is our civil war here in the United States, where we have the North and the South fighting. And a lot of people think it has to do with slavery, and that was a big, huge part of it. But it was actually a lot of focus was on states' rights. And do the states have the right to decide if they should keep slaves or not? So, see, slavery was a part of it, but it really boiled down to states' rights. Can the states determine what happened, or should the national government, the federal government, be making those big decisions? So, you're going to watch the brain pop. You can watch it as many times as you want. I encourage you to do that. Annoy your family as much as you annoy me by making me watch it over and over and over again. And then you are going to answer the questions. They're all multiple choice. You turn it in, you're good to go. The last thing I want to talk about is office hours. Because it is a weird week this week, we didn't have school on Monday. Office hours are Thursday for me, from 1:40 to 2:25. Once again, office hours are Thursday from 1:40 to 2:45 or 2:25, sorry. And don't forget the marking period ends on Friday. So keep that in mind as well. The third marking period ends on Friday. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Bye, guys.